안녕하세요, Seattle Insomnia입니다. What's up, Insomnia? What's up, YouTube? Seattle Insomnia back again with Dreamcatcher Friday. It's not full album Friday because I'm going to hit a couple of the in-betweens before getting into the dystopia era. And what I've got today is I've got R.o.S.E Blue that came from the Girl Cafe Gun OST. I've got Dreamcatcher's Endless Night, which is from their third Japanese mini album. And then I've got Dreamcatcher Don't Light My Fire, which is from the Eclipse OST kind of mini album that they did. Don't Light My Fire is actually my favorite from that album. So that's why I'm doing that. Eclipse has been kind of reacted to quite a bit. And while it's fun, it's just kind of watching the clips, kind of very similar clips replaying over and over again, and then cutting to them sitting in a beautiful room in amazing outfits, uniforms, which is pretty cool. But I really like Don't Light My Fire. So I'm going to be doing that, and that's going to be my Dreamcatcher Friday. Afterwards, Bon Voyage. I'll talk more about that, but one of the things that after watching it a couple of times and listening to it, that I did not mention in that video because I watched that like 20 minutes after it dropped because I was recording for K-Rock Thursday. I went back because I was avoiding all spoilers, all track lists, everything like that. I did not realize that Weeze was not a part of the team this time. And I had saw that he had an exclusive contract with Hi-Hat, but it didn't click that he would not be a part of From Us, the 8th mini album. So there is a definite difference. And that makes a lot of sense now. I still think they're experimenting and going into an experimental sound, especially not having Lee's input, and it's just Olander and whatever team he put together to assist with this project. So I wanted to kind of get that out there now, even though this is going to be before that reaction. I get why there's going to be that there's a difference in their sound, which is fine. But just wanted to talk about that real quick. All right, let's get the headphones on, flip into dual mode, and let's get into this reaction. Catch you on the flip side. All right, headphones on, nice and snug, full screen. There are no closed captions to this MV that I recall. It's been a while since I watched it. I listened to it. It's in my playlist that I listen to every day, but I've not watched the video in a while, so I don't believe there are. All right, all the way back, and in 3, 2, 1, drop thunder. And I believe the rabbit is most likely placed there for that reason, because it's Jiu telling from Jiu's perspective of the story. The visuals on this are amazing. 5 bullets, which is very meaningful. I love her blue contacts. Her facial expressions and her voice. Again, purple butterflies surrounding you. I'll make a point about that later. Come on, Dami.
던져버린 향기를 지우려고 했어. 닦아봐도 묻어 날 본 그 이상은 없어. 덮고 사는 거지 그래. 익숙해진 거지 그래. 과거의 세계 현재를 더해 만들어낸 미래. 어제의 지나버린 계절도 아득해져만 가는 것 같아. 말
Sua's acting voice.
빨갛게 스며들어 지내왔던 많은 말들이 조금씩 불어오는 바람결이 터지네. 이제야 스스로 친해져가는 나만의 세계. 틀리지 않아 내 선택인데 난 너를 채워가는 마법 같은 컬러. 반짝이게 아니 눈부시게 R.o.S.E blue. 누구와도 비교할 수 없어. Oh just me. 어느샌가 빠져들어 내 모습 이대로. 아름다워 떨어지는 입도 이름 없이 기억에 남아.
She is acting.
난 내게 남아있는 기억 속의 컬러. 시들어가 버린 그 이름을 Oh tell me. 오직 나만을 위한 기적을 다시 promise. 떨어지는 꽃잎에 나 잊혀져간 대로 향기로워 맴도는 그 이름 언제까지 남아있어줘.
Whoa. Music video, but it still hits me in the feels.
R.o.S.E blue.
Ah, teary-eyed. Such a good video and story. Now, granted, I know this is for a separate Girls Gun Cafe OST. They have their own story, their own characters in it. But I honestly really do think it could fit in the Nightmare series. Ju is alluded to that they are in a fabricated world when she's able to stare up into the sun. And yes, I have read some of the fan theories, so I'm taking the bits and pieces from that kind of correlates with the other, but how it can fit into the Nightmare series. Wakes her up from that and find themselves. She is able to enter into the Nightmare world. And through there, searches for clues to figure out where the rest of the girls are in the Nightmare world, stuck and trapped in their own nightmare. Handong is not here because this is the time where she is away for Youth with You or Youth for You. I always mess up the little word that's in between, but she's back in China on that show. So that's why we don't see her here. And actually, she did a reaction to this, which was amazing too. She got caught up in that, and that was really fun to watch. But anyway, she's able to locate the girls, and the purple crystal is the power source. Almost like the mirror in You and I could be another conduit into the Nightmare world because all the other girls are there. asleep and trapped there in that crystal. And their physical selves being represented there and being trapped. She is able to enter into the nightmare world and locates each individual girl. She has the gun because it is something that can wake them up, knock them out of their nightmare, and bring them back into the real world. Only having 5 bullets, 6 of the members there, meaning she knows that she is sacrificing herself to release the other girls, thus saving them from the nightmare. It is just an amazing, well portrayed video, and again, goes with their own, but I think it could easily tie into that Nightmare series. And then when Handong returns, the series is done. So there isn't really, I would like to think that there was another added onto this, like either A, they would go after Handong and find her finally, and that's where breaking out, or breaking out could be they're all together somehow, kind of while looking for Handong, get kind of wrapped back up into the nightmares. Ju, still being the leader, still being the strongest, is able to release first when she releases that the noose that is tied around her hair, and then brings the girls all back together in for breaking out, and that ends the series. Just my little fan theory, and like I noted in that video, this would make, I'm a gamer and I play tabletop role-playing games and live-action role-playing games, and that whole arc would make an amazing game. Visually, again, good budget because it is a collaboration with a video game. So they had, after Deja Vu and seeing the success with that, it makes perfect sense that other games would reach out to them and want to collab with them. So great budget, great CGI with the practical sets, the acting. Sua acting, like being caught up in the chains, the visual representation of each different nightmare for each girl. Dami, wealth, that's pretty obvious. Surrounded in a room full of golden riches, but yet seemed unhappy. Xian, with being in the room full of TVs, wanting fame and wanting to be seen, but yet all the TVs, none of them are set to any specific channel. So she's just kind of there cuddling a teddy bear, not getting the recognition she wants or was hoping for. Yuhyun being in a school room seeking knowledge, but the classroom was barren. All the tables and chairs were all pushed back behind her. Some things written on the chalkboard that unfortunately I didn't quite recognize what was on there, but still unsatisfied with what the knowledge that she had, still needing more, caught in a nightmare, maybe not able to learn, maybe unable to process what it is that she's trying to learn. Dion recognizing Jiu, longing to be back with Jiu, and was therefore welcoming and kind of blinded by what was happening, even reaching out to her, asking for her help, seeking her help, missing that lost connection. Sua, again, bound in the chains, possibly wanting to take control of her own life, but having that taken from her, her freedom taken from her. Therefore, she is bound and chained in that room, solitary, left all alone. And then when Ju was first in the nightmare, being together with all of the members, minus Handong, when she returned after all the bullets and all of them had been set free, as they were transitioning and reawakening to go back to the real world, they disappear. She's up there all alone. And I think she understands and realizes that she, everything she's done, the sacrifice, she's happy that they're free and is then they're left alone. And just great storytelling. Really, really, really well done. Music production. A combination of some really good rock, jazz, and EDM. Like that saxophone in there really adds a depth and element that I really, really like. And then the EDM that's in there, the other percussions, I think there's strings in there as well. The chorus with like a choir added in the back, adding harmonies and things like that. Really good. Sua stands out majorly in this one with her belts and her high runs that normally Xion has. She has got power. She's got great vocal control. She's got a very clean voice, whereas Xion has that smoky, raspy sound when she sings, that rock edge to her sound. Sua is very, very clean, bright, and crystal clear, and I do enjoy that as well. It's a great balance with those power vocals that she gives. Yuhan, when she gets into her belts and things like that, sometimes adds a beautiful vibrato, but she's also got that, I don't want to call it husky because it's a full sound with Yuhyun. With her vocal tone and quality, it's a very full. Sua is kind of leans into a little bit of the more fullness in her tone and quality, but still is light and airy and very clear. But yes, Rose Blue, really, really, really good. All right, so next we are getting into Endless Night, and this fulfills a lot of both my EDM and my hardcore rock vibe for sure. So, in 3, 2, 1, drop thunder. A pinch harmonic squelch. That bass. This is kind of what I mean by that little EDM. It's technically not EDM, but again, Sua. That smoke equality. That light and airiness of GU. That fullness of Yutani. Aha! I love the choreo with the whacking there. Oh, such a good song. Again, no Handong, because this is also... That's kind of why I picked these. The ones that I did, especially these first two, because this is what took place while Handong was gone, kind of fitting, leaning into going into the first 2/3 of the dystopia era where Handong is gone. Definitely, I know that No More is heavier, but I like this song a little bit more than No More. I think the song structure for this one fits more in line with the rock metal that I like. Of the non-Tool metal rock, progressive prog metal, prog rock that I listen to with Ginger and Tool, this gives me a kind of mix between Slipknot and Killswitch Engage. And those are definitely two groups that I do enjoy. It just depends upon what era of Slipknot. There's some really good ones and some that are just way too out there that just get way too screamy and way too chaotic for me to really enjoy. But like Bleeding Out, yeah, Bleed It Out, and then what's the other one? It's been so long since I've listened to any Slipknot. There's another one, and it's escaping me right now. But Killswitch Engage, End of Heartache. Really, really good song. And then My Curse. Kind of those two albums when... Wow, I'm having a major brain fart right now. With the lead singer, Howard Jones. His era in Killswitch Engage is by far my favorite. His vocals are amazing. And Rose for Sharon. The instrumentation that's utilized in here really kind of reminds me of those songs, those three songs: End of Heartache, My Curse, and Rose for Sharon, which is why this song jumps out at me, and I like it a little bit more than No More. All right, then the choreography in this again. I didn't break it down, it was going through, but if you watch the choreography and how they switch it up depending upon what's happening in the musical aspect of it, they're either dancing to the lyrics, they're dancing to the guitars, or they're dancing to the percussion, and they change it up at different points, and I really enjoy watching the dynamics of that and how they dance to the music. It just shows the level of expertise in the choreography and their choreographer on how to make choreo, K-pop choreo work in rock and metal. All right. But with that, we are going to be getting into Don't Light My Fire. And this is from Seven Dreamers. This is, I'm going with the lyrical video on this because the only other that is really available is the audio track off of the album. And at least with this, we can enjoy watching the lyrics. These are the uniform, the outfits that I was talking about with Eclipse during the Eclipse music video that they are wearing. And you can kind of see kind of the antique Victorian, almost, it kind of gives me a steampunk feel for like kind of like almost like Corsairs or steampunk pirate captains or aristocracy of a steampunk era. Full screen this, but the music production right off the bat, horror fans will get it right away. All right, 3, 2, 1, drop thunder. I like the production of the video, adding that kind of VHS or 8mm kind of feel, photo projector feel. I like the addition of the synth. Again, a singing dominant on Dom. That richness in her voice. The dog barking always, I hear that in the normal audio track and I'm like, this solo is just, it's really good. It's got a very 80s rock feel. I like the harmonies there. such a good song. This is actually there for a while. It hung in the. Is it my. I want to say it is in my top 5 in my B tracks. Let me confirm that. It was. No, it still is. Somehow that got cut out. So it is number 5 in my B tracks. And when I added it on there, the special clips for um, Monster, NDA, and um, wow, Lucky Strike somehow got put before it because those 3 should have been after my top 5s of each. I don't know how I ended up, but yes, Don't Light My Fire is number 5 on my B-sides. 80s rock. It's got that great groove rock vibe. The synths added to it give it a 80s feel to it, in my opinion. But in that opening line, if you've not seen Halloween, Michael Myers, like it, very inspired by the Halloween theme musical. Why did I say musical? Theme. Slow down, talk. I do this a lot. But yeah, it's just all around great production, great vocals. Just like, in my opinion, for rock sound, this one has been spot on for a pure rock track. All right, I'm gonna get the headphones off, flip it back into full mode. It's shorter video today. I was up late last night getting as much recording done as possible, front loading it on my days off to give you quality content. But even when I try to do it this way, I still make some speaking errors and blunders. But anyway, headphones off. We'll wrap this up, give me my final thoughts. Catch you on the flip side. All right. Well, this has been Dreamcatcher Friday. Again, not the full album Friday like usual. That's going to resume next Friday, when I'll actually be in Oakland. But we will be breaking into Tree of Language, and I know I keep saying I've said Tree of Knowledge before, religious reference, for those that understand the Tree of Knowledge, good and evil. That's sometimes referenced as the Tree of Knowledge. So when I'm just talking, I kind of mix that up a little bit. But Tree Language, part 1 will be coming. Yeah, probably next Friday. I'm still debating if I'm going to do it all in one go or if I'm going to break it up because there's a lot of good stuff in there. I'll probably break that up, even though I know a lot of my insomnias like long content. I will probably break it up into 2 parts just so I can continue to stretch the Dreamcatcher content for the music videos and things like the albums. I don't want to rush and, in a couple months not have anything, to react to except for some special clips and variety stuff. So I'm going to try to break it down like that. But anyway, we had Rose Blue. Again, I honestly really do think it could fit theme-wise into the Nightmare series. I've given my points why. The video itself, amazing production, amazing vocals, amazing backing instrumentation. Just an all-around really good song. Endless Night. Just, in my opinion, of their harder full-on rock metal, hits that spot. Really, really good. Reminds me of Slipknot and the drums, percussions, and guitars, especially when they hit into the pinch harmonics and the squelching. Definitely very reminiscent of Slipknot and Killswitch Engage. Great video itself. I mean, it was a fairly basic in comparison because it's a Japanese release. So from what I've seen from their Japanese releases, it doesn't really go big into any of the CGI effects. It's pretty much on a stage, maybe slips it off into another set like they did with like, it looked kind of like an indoor garden or arboretum, which is really cool. Just add another flair to the music video and then back to the main stage with lighting effects. Pardon me. Allergy season for me. So the video itself, while looking quite simple, is actually still really well done. Just like in Breaking Out. Wow. I need to blow my sinuses are draining in the back of my throat. So I get all, yeah, TMI. But anyway, kind of like Breaking Out, very simplistic, but really well done. Choreo on this. Really, really well done. I know, I'm pretty sure they have a dance practice to this. So when I get back into getting into the dance practices for alternate content, we'll definitely be checking that out. That way you can see it straight through for those that haven't seen it. But for most of my viewers, I'm pretty sure you've all really seen it. But I will give my commentary and point out things that I think are done really, really well. And then Don't Light My Fire. Lyric video, because there is no MV or special clip with this. I really wish there was. Especially in the fits they do, and to see a story behind it, I think it would be amazing. Vocally and music production wise, probably the most rock in my opinion for like solid rock, like American rock. And 80s rock, it kind of gives me almost a Bon Jovi kind of feel. Even some Motley Crue, that kind of 80s rock era. You got some of the synth in the back. And that's why, because Bon Jovi used a lot of synth uh, in their music back in the 80s. So that's the kind of feel that it reminds me of. It throws me back into that Shot from the Heart, You Give Love a Bad Name, that era, mid 80s rock. So I really enjoy it. That's what I grew up, in between, before. I kind of mentioned this in my own move. My parents went on a religious binge for a while and destroyed all rock and anything that wasn't country western or gospel. They had a bonfire and all the albums, cassettes, and VHS tapes that we had that were rock supposedly were the devil's music and got all destroyed. Uh, so I was able to get my music fill when I was with friends at their houses or out on my own, and was able to either have a Walkman radio or something, and wasn't under my parents' eye, could listen to what I listened to. But yeah, it throws me back in there for good and for bad, for memories, but I do enjoy that sound. Again, coming next for Double Feature Friday, Bon Voyage, the comeback. Oh. If you want to see me fanboy, you think I fanboy a lot in this. I was like literally the adrenaline and the anticipation and everything, like my hands were shaking. But you'll get my reaction for that coming up next. So for this Dreamcatcher Friday, I'm going to call it here. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. Kamsahamnida. Thank you for watching. And until the next reaction, annyeong. Peace.
Don't light my fire.